Before I get today's video started, I want to have a moment of silence for the victims in the Brooklyn shooting on Tuesday. My prayers and well wishes to them and their families in this difficult time. And I hope the victims pull through and there are no casualties when it's all said and done. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Scrub Zero. Alright, so I caught wind of some quotes James Harden said recently. He said that that he doesn't have anything to prove, he don't feel any pressure, any of that. For him, it's out there going, playing his game, trying to help his team win. And I saw those comments. There's also, there's this article out on complex.com. They did an interview with James Harden. You want to read it, you can. I'll leave the link in there, but I'm not going to touch too much on that. I mean, there might be some points I make that's off of it, but my whole thing is James Harden has shown he can do a lot in the regular season, though this regular season, if it wasn't the same guy, the league put a point of emphasis on certain things, particularly with the shooting, and a lot of that was going to be, like, people had questions with James Harden. He struggled early on in Brooklyn. Well, and then he made it known he wasn't satisfied in Brooklyn. He got traded to Philly, because that's where he wanted to be all along. He got to Philly. He wanted to be all along, but that's allegedly. But he got to Philly. Now he's had some good games, but then he's struggled and it hasn't been good. He's had nights where he's gone 3 of 12 and other poor shooting nights. So it's really a matter of can he get it done in the postseason. But this has been this question for him every year for a while now. Like, we don't care about your regular season. We don't care how many free throws you can shoot. Like, we don't, like, you say you ain't got nothing to prove. Or maybe you feel you don't. But you out here collecting money like you a top player. I'm not saying that you don't deserve the money, but listen, when you're given that money, there's a certain level of expectations that you have to live up to. And and with the production you put forth in regular season, that also ups the expectation. They expect you to win a championship. They expect you to be a good player in the playoffs. Well, we've seen when James Harden gets to the playoffs, he's found a way to come up short every year. Now, he was injured with Brooklyn last year, but even then it felt like, why didn't he? You had the sense like he could have done more, he didn't. But other years, when they've lost, when you look at Game 7 against the Golden State Warriors, when no one can shoot, but he's a star player, you expect him to step his game up. He didn't. Like, James Harden, he comes up short in the biggest moments. When it's survive or go home, he has not been a good player. Like, he shies away from shots. He turns the ball. Well, turnovers are about the only thing he's consistent with. But he would turn away from shots. He takes a lot of bad shots. Now some of them go in, but when you really look at it, he doesn't really take mid-range shots. It's 3 and go inside. When he's not getting called for fouls, you see how it affects his game. And this is why people are like, yo, what you gonna do? You do have something to prove. And I'm tired of, listen, You want to be a number one. You want to get all the number one perks. You don't want to get any other like you don't want to take everything that comes with it, the good and the bad. You only want the good. And when the bad comes, you look to blame everyone else. You look to deflect. You look to go to the strip club afterward. Like you saying you working on your game. How hard is you really working? When after you losing, you go to the strip club. I don't think you working that hard, are you? Like as hard as you say you are, I don't think it. You don't want it like the all-time greats want it. You don't have that. Losing doesn't hurt you in the way it hurt a Kobe Bryant, a Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and the players that played in previous eras. Like it hurt guys to lose. Guys didn't like losing. Guys wanted to win. Guys would do everything they could to pull out victory. You, James Harden, you got this talent. You can shoot, but you spoiled. It's just what it is. This dude is spoiled. When it don't go his way, he pouts. He shuts down. And then what ends up happening when on a James Harden team? Other players get the boot. They're on the chopping block. It's only a matter of time. Dwight Howard, Chris Paul. Now it was 1 year and then Russell Westbrook got traded. I don't know all the details in that because that was also pandemic. But like he got traded, and you got old boy Kevin McHale fired. Because you guys couldn't get over the hump. I'm not saying that was your fault, but because you didn't do enough, it ultimately cost him his job. Then you had Mike D'Antoni. He couldn't. Well, he's always been a guy who's come up short. I don't know how the heck he gets jobs, but that's whatever. But you came up short with him. You didn't want to go with the guy currently in Houston. I think that's Paul Silas' son. I forget if I'm remembering correctly. I gotta take a look because I haven't paid too much attention to Houston. That's my bad. But like, you didn't want to stick it out with him. You wanted to go to Philly with your general manager Daryl Morey. You couldn't get to Philly. You settled for Brooklyn. You got to Brooklyn. You got banged up. You struggled in the playoff series against the Bucks. This season, your play has been nowhere to what we've expected in regular season all year. Then you get upset. You're not satisfied with your role in your situation, so you get traded again. Now you in Philly. You in the place you want to be, and you still ain't showing up. So at what point do we just say, you know what, James Harden is just not that guy? Oh, we know he ain't that guy, but it's like it'll get to the point where it's like, all right, no, we don't expect a championship from you. We expect, and you know what? Maybe it's already gotten to that point. But to say you ain't got nothing to prove when you have proven to be a flopper and a choke artist in the postseason, that's what your play says. Your play says you have not lived up to what you do, to the billing you've shown in the regular season. That's what the film says. You got a problem with that? Well, that's too damn bad. How about you actually do everything? How about you actually play better this postseason? How about we look at this postseason, even if Philly goes home, we can say, you know, they needed to do more, but it wasn't because they didn't play hard. It wasn't because it wasn't because James Harden didn't play his game. His game just wasn't enough. But why? But we can't say that. It's like, James Harden, where are you? James Harden, how are you coming up short? James Harden, do you even want to be there? And then it's going to be, Dai Rivers, chopping block. Joel Embiid, he's short order. He on the chopping block too. So, you know. But this is what James Harden does. He wants to be number one as far as all the accolades. He don't want that smoke. And when you give it to him, he gets in his feelings. Well, that's basically today's players. You know, tired of these guys. They get on my nerves. Any case, I'm going to get on with my day because James Harden he just finds ways to disappoint me over and over and over again. So, in fact, I'll leave the link to the article that you. In fact, you could just type in complex and James Harden on Google and do that. I ain't even gonna do all that because I don't even know. I didn't even get too deep into the article, so you could look that up yourself. But James Harden, you got to show up. On that note, I would like to thank everyone who watched this video. I appreciate you guys spending your time listening to me. You know, I'm truly appreciative of that. If you wanted, if you wish to support the page monetarily, you can, via donation. We take any and all donations, so we appreciate it. Scrub Zero's the Cash App. I'll leave a direct link to that in the comment section, of course. Shout out to all my guys. Shout out to Jose Rodriguez, Black Mamba King 21 Gaming and Sports. Shout out to Lobo, Casino for Life. Welcome to HDTV. C-Pen for the Win Show. Strictly No Limit to My Success. Definitely go sub up to all them. Pole Sports Talking ENT. T Price Podcast. Go sub up to him. Ticket TV. And whoever I didn't shout out to my head, not my heart. Who did this time? Because he's the guy who usually said that, so, you know. But anyway, I miss saying because I want to miss you. It's a lot of people I don't always remember at the time, but I do appreciate everyone who be on the page, who support me. You know, people putting in the work, even with everything else going on in their life, they still making content. So, shouts out to them. And that's it. You know, like button, leave your comments, subscribe if you're new, and share the video. So that's it. Hope everyone's having a great day. And until next time, I'm Scrub Zero. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.